Elmer's costume. Recognize it? Yep. Alright. Today is video 2 to be doing the wounds, the stuff that everybody likes. Going to need some liquid latex or Elmer's glue if you can't find the liquid latex. Then you're going to need a mixing dish, something you don't mind throwing away or ruining. Then you're going to need cheap tissue without any patterns on it. Here I'm just using a non-lotion, non-patterned tissue and tearing it in half. And then you want to tear it into sections so that you have irregular edges. First, we're going to take the liquid latex and a cosmetic sponge after we pour a little bit into our dish, of course. Sorry if I sound a little nasally, I'm a bit under the weather at the moment. And you're just going to take that liquid latex and stipple or paint it on, whatever words you choose. Just going to get a layer of that onto the skin where you want the scarring to be, and then lay down a layer of tissue, and then go back over again with some latex, making sure you fully cover the tissue and the edges. This is why you want the edges to be irregular, because you don't have like straight lines. And then you're going to go in with another layer of tissue once you have the other completely saturated. And just tear off any excess that isn't sticking to the skin. And going over with another layer of the liquid latex. This is all it is. It's about building layer after layer. And you'll generally want about 4 to 5 layers. And here I'm going to show you how to do some scarring without having to use the tissue. We're just taking some liquid latex and stippling it onto the skin. And if you have a fan or anything like that, get it out so you can maybe speed up the drying process. A hair dryer will work as well. And now that the liquid latex is all dry, I'm going in with some Fixative A. This is an optional step. This is just a prosthetic sealer that will help the latex accept the makeup application a little easier. And now going over with some foundation or concealer and blending that in with another cosmetic sponge. And taking a non-sharp object, people. I'm using a spatula just to kind of, pull and rip some holes into the latex. This will be our wound. You want to be careful and not pull and tug on it too much, because you can pull it off of the skin and then you have to start all over. Yeah, just like a butter knife, something, a toothpick, anything that isn't going to cut or stab you and bring blood will work for this. And now we're going to start on the fun part. Well, maybe not just yet. This part's still kind of boring. Just kind of blending in, making this look like your skin. And you'll want to use a foundation or concealer that is pretty darn close to your skin tone to blend it in. And then if you plan on going in with other makeup afterwards, you will do that over top. Just get this as close as you possibly can. And after you do that, you can set it with a little bit of powder. And now we're going to start making that wound. Again, a non-sharp object. I particularly have to be careful with this because I do hurt myself rather often. And you just want to take your time pulling and picking. You can use a small pair of scissors if you'd like. Just be careful to not have any uniform edges, because when you have a cut, the edges usually aren't uniform. And then you can pull and tear the skin, or well, your faux skin at this point, to make it look like it's hanging off the face. Tear off any excess bits. And now we have a nice open wound on the forehead and on the cheek area. And this is part 1 of creating the wound. Stay tuned for the 3rd video and part 2 on how to color in the wound. Thanks for watching. Bye.